Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome to the Premier Cup for Season 7. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. We do have a lot of XL Pokemon. A lot of these Pokemon you probably won't see, even if they're really good, just because people don't have the resources for them. You don't have the XL candy. I mean, it's just now that we're able to work Pokemon to get some of these XL candy to power up some of these Pokemon. But before, we were not able to do that. So a lot of these you probably won't see, but some of them that people had been working on, you probably might see, you might see. And some of these Pokemon that are not XL'd, you're obviously going to see. And to answer your question, guys, not that you asked, but you don't need XL Pokemon to win. I made Legend last season without XL Pokemon, and we'll talk about that. So you don't need them, but obviously some of them are going to be really good. But let's go ahead and move right into the S tier. We do have Jellicent. I don't think you're going to see this one at all this season, because how are you going to get an XL Jellicent? I mean, yeah, you can catch Frillish in the wild, sure, but it's just going to be very difficult to have it. It is really tanky in the Ultra League. You're going to need those candy. You could walk it now if you want to try and build up to it, but I don't think many people are going to have this one. At least right now. But it is a good one. It is a tanky one. So you'll probably see it at some point. I just don't think it's going to be this season. At least not very often. So I don't think you have to worry about it now. But you will. So Galarian Stunfisk is another one we've talked since XLs became a thing. And yeah, we don't see it too often, but you might start seeing it more and more now because people had time to maybe build up the stash of XL candy. You also can catch it now in GBL for a guaranteed XL candy. You could raid for it. You could walk it. So people might have this one, but again, still not one that you'll probably see all the time just because people don't have it. But it is really good. Obviously, we see it in the Great League. A lot of these Pokemon you're going to be familiar with in the Great League, and that's because they're just dominating that league, and they're going to be dominating the Premier Cup as well. So Shadow Machamp is probably the best fighting type in this cup. In the Premier Cup, at least in my opinion. We have other good ones, but Shadow Machamp is definitely my favorite. We know how good that is. Shadow Abomasnow is another really common one, usually as a lead. I see it most of the time as a lead, quite a bit actually. And it's a great Pokemon, whether it be the Shadow variant or the regular one. Such a great Pokemon. Another one you're going to see quite a bit probably, unless if Talonflame is super common, but it's probably one that you'll see, and we've had a Spotlight Hour for Snovis, so people definitely do have these XL Abomasnows ready to go. Mandibuzz is another one that you probably won't see right now. You're going to need to XL it, but it's such a tank. It's a tank in the Great League, guys. You know it's a tank in the Premier Cup, so it could take hits for days. Has a great move pool, great typing, going to be a great Pokemon. I cannot wait to build up one. And same with Umbreon. I actually have an Umbreon XL'd, fully XL'd. It's not a perfect, but it is really good. So this is one that you probably will. I've actually battled quite a few of these, even last season. So this one people probably have. Eevee was common, at least around me. So, it could also nest. So Umbreon is probably the most likely XL Pokemon you'll see nowadays, at least in my opinion, but it's so tanky, similar to Mandibuzz. It's just such a tank. I mean, it could take hits for days. People don't have to shield it. If you're battling Umbreon, go for your hardest hitting move, because people generally do not shield Umbreon because it could take anything, pretty much. So moving on to the A tier, we have Scrafty, which I think is a great pick. XL, of course. I do like Shadow Machamp better. I mean, Shadow Machamp is going to be super effective to Scrafty because it's a dark type. But Scrafty is a great option. You just need it XL'd. Shadow Swampert is another one, whether it be Shadow or regular. I like the Shadow one, but the regular one can get the job done. But a great pick. Great Pokemon. I've seen it quite a few times, usually in the lead, I think. But it's a great Pokemon. Next up, Talonflame. This is a new addition. So you need a perfect Talonflame, and you need it maxed out. With XL Candy, and it gets to, I believe, 2493. So pretty tanky, pretty great Pokemon. I mean, I'll tell you, I've done a few sets, I should say, in the Premier Cup before I started on this video because I wanted to get a feel for the Premier Cup. And I was having a team, I thought my team would do great against Talonflame. I haven't beaten a single Talonflame, and I've battled a few of them. So every Talonflame I've lost, maybe I just wasn't playing well against it, but, I had a team. In Polion, I used that team, Polion, Double Dragon, and I still lost to Talonflame. And Talonflame, the Brave Bird just does so much damage to the dragons. Flame Charge is neutral to Empoleon. It's such a great Pokemon. It really is. So yeah, I mean, I totally recommend if you can, Incinerate gets to those moves so fast. If you have, we have the resources because of Community Day, but if you have the dust, it's definitely worth looking into for sure. Then we have Lapras, really tanky Pokemon, definitely a great one. We've seen it pretty much since the Premier Cup began, actually definitely since the Premier Cup began, so you guys know the drill. It's a great one. Ice Shard, Surf, and usually Skull Bash, Ice Beam, more so for the Open Ultra League, but Kingdra, another one of my favorites. I love Kingdra, pretty tanky. I don't have an XL one, but XL makes it tankier, of course, but mine is still good, but definitely a great Pokemon. Octazooka, 50% chance to debuff the opponent by 50%, by 2 stages. 2 stages, I can't even speak, that's how crazy it is. It's a great Pokemon. Safe switch as well. Then we have Empoleon, which is another Pokemon I've been enjoying. I hit Legend again with Empoleon, Kingdra, and Dragonite last season. Maybe I'll try it again this season. Maybe we'll go for a different team. We'll see. Great Pokemon. Then we have Politoed in the A rank, right? Or B rank, I should say. Excuse me, B rank. So Politoed is another one that has to be XL'd, of course. It is in the Great League. We see quite a bit, so I think it's really good for this league as well. Venusaur is another great one, of course. Venusaur is a great Pokemon. Been in the Premier Cup since the beginning. It does get walled by some Pokemon. Skarmory, what you need to XL'd. Altaria does well against it. The Dragonite, does well against it. So there's a lot of Pokemon that can handle it, but it also does well against, obviously, water types, and there's quite a few water types in this cup. Then we have Skarmory and Altaria. Both of them have to be XL'd. I'm currently working on Altaria because I have a perfect, but both of them have to be XL'd. I've battled a few of them. A few Skarmory. I don't think I've ever seen an Altaria. Maybe I saw one Altaria last season, but now that you could walk it, it's only 1 kilometer. For Altaria, you'll probably start to see it more. I'm going to be trying Altaria myself once I get it. But yeah, both of those Pokemon are great. Then we have Dragonite, another great Pokemon, great Dragon type, whether it be the regular one or the Shadow. Usually with the regular one, I do like Hurricane. And if I have a Shadow, usually I would say Outrage, because if you have a Shadow one, if you're going up against a Charm user, you're not hitting Hurricane no matter what, unless you have a lot of energy stored. But, that's why it doesn't matter if you have it. But with the non-Shadow one, you can reach that Hurricane. So then we have Snorlax. Obviously, we all know how great Snorlax is. Such a great safe swap option. Such a great Pokemon in general. It can do well against the Steel types with Superpower. A bunch of its moves are really good. It's kind of hard to predict what it has. I think the most common moveset is Body Slam, Superpower, but it could have Earthquake, it could have other moves, so it's definitely a great pick. Then we have other fighting types with Sirfetch'd and Escavalier. Escavalier, technically not a fighting type, but it does have counter. Both of them are good. I still think Machamp is better, but both of them are pretty good. We have Drifblim, which obviously is a good one. I believe you want this one XL'd. I think you want this one XL'd. I don't think it necessarily has to be. You don't need a lot of investment into it, but obviously the tankier the better, right? Alolan Ninetales is another one that needs to be XL'd, similar to Politoed. We see both of them with Weather Bolt in the Great League. Magnezone is a great option. We've seen that quite a bit, Magnezone, right? Actually, no, we see it quite a bit for the Master League Premier Cup, but it's also good for the Premier Cup in the Ultra League as well. Then we have Gallade. Glade is popular in the Premier Cup, Confusion, Leaf Blade, and Close Combat. Usually I have seen Synchronoise here and there, but I do recommend Leaf Blade and Close Combat. Such a good Pokemon, really squishy, but really good. Gengar's another really squishy one, but again, another good one. At that, it has a really good attack. It does a lot of damage. It threatens a lot of Pokemon. A lot of people tend to shield Pokemon such as Gengar. And then we have Obstagoon, which is not a fighting type, but it's one of those Pokemon that have counter. It's great. Again, I think Machamp is better, but it's still really good. It's double weak to fighting, though, so it's going to lose to other counter users. Another fighting type, Toxicroak. We have a lot of good fighting types in this cup, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of good ones. Then we have a Charm user, Clefable. You could go with Clefable or Togekiss, right? I mean, both of them are really good. They're just fantastic Pokemon. So Charm does a lot of damage to the many fighting types in the cup. So they're great Pokemon. Alolan Raichu, I think, could be pretty good if you XL it. I think that could be a pretty good one. And then we have Alolan Muck as the last Pokemon, certainly not least. Obviously, there's other options besides these. But let's look at the solid team options. We do have the team I ran. Now, I didn't create this team. I don't want to miscommunicate with you guys. I didn't create the team. I actually don't know who did. But if you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. But I saw Speediest Chief running it, and that's why I decided to run it. I don't know if he was the one who created the team or not. I wish I could give credit, I just don't know. But either way, nonetheless, it's a great team with Empoleon, Kingdra, and Dragonite. Now, when I hit Legend, I ran the regular Dragonite. Shadow Dragonite is definitely an option as well. But basically, the strategy of this team is to safe swap into Kingdra to lure out their Charmander if they have one. If they don't switch into a Charmander, you know they don't have one. If they have a Charmander and they bring it in, okay, you'll be able to get to an Octazooka and you'll be able to debuff them. Maybe. You have a 50% chance. Obviously, it's great if you do. And then they'll farm you down. Sure, you'll lose that. They're not going to shield. And then you'll bring in Empoleon to farm down. And your Empoleon's going to have, pretty much, depending on if you get the debuff, pretty much 2 charge attacks ready to go, if not close to 2. And even if you lost the lead with a fighting type like Machamp, you can go for 2 Drill Pecks, and they'll have to pretty much double shield, right? I mean, if they want to keep that Shadow Machamp alive, that's happened to me so many times last season. And then maybe you could sweep with Dragonite, unless if they have another Charm user in the back. If they have double Charm, you're not going to win. You can't beat double Charm with this team in the back. But I'm just saying, that's basically how this team works, and it's a great team. I love it. But as I said, I was running this team, and I was still losing to Talonflame, and I thought this team would be great against Talonflame. So yeah, I mean, my opponents have been playing it really well, saving the shields for Talonflame, able to Brave Bird and, KO my Pokemon, Flame Charge Empoleon, knock out my Dragonite and everything with Brave Bird. So, that's why maybe I have to play the team a little bit better or a little bit differently with Talonflame now, but that's generally how the team works, at least from my perspective. Another great team I think is going to be really good is going to be Shadow Swampert alongside Venusaur and Talonflame. So again, you have a Water, Grass, and Fire type. So really versatile, really great team in my opinion. Super strong. I mean, you could definitely put out a lot of shield pressure with Swampert, and maybe you could pick up a shield or 2, especially if you win the lead. If you don't, if you save shields for Talonflame, Talonflame can generally sweep. I mean, 3 Incinerates to Brave Bird, it's crazy. Plus, you also have Flame Charge, which boosts Talonflame's attack. So, great Pokemon all around. Yeah, great Pokemon, great team, I think. And then we have an XL team for the most part. We have Umbreon, and then we have Skarmory in the back. Both of those XL'd, and then Clefable, which yeah, that's pretty much, you don't need to max it out, but it's still an XL Pokemon if you want to make it better, right? So great teams all around. I think these are pretty good teams. Let me know your team for the Ultra League Premier Cup. I am curious to hear what you guys have to say, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.